because I think it's trash. Obviously,
Facts.
honestly. What's your views on like the state of hip hop, man?
So that's a great question. I literally, it's funny enough, like before I pulled up, my girl and her son, who was 18, we was literally just having this conversation.
Mm.
I feel like when it comes to hip hop, and I think you and I know when we say hip hop, the difference between hip hop and rap.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say hip hop, I feel like 2025 was one of the best years for hip hop. Hip hop. If you look at people,
2025,
yeah. If you look at the artists, so if you look at the artists who consider themselves lyricists, MCs, Freddie Gibbs, like I said, JID, Tyler the Creator, every person who considers themselves MCs, they pretty much dropped a project or album or body of work. That's not for nothing. My theory is that seeing how monumental the Drake and Kendrick beef was last year, and just the impact, like you couldn't go nowhere. Like everybody from your average to avid listeners, everybody was tuned in. So my theory is that
you think that beef was bigger than the Jay-Z Nas?
Yeah. And I say mainly because of social media. And I think, to be honest, well, I would say Tupac and Biggie was the biggest beef, depending on how you like word it, because obviously they both
niggas died.
So that was actually the biggest.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. I think Jay-Z and Nas, I remember it, but I wasn't like as of an adult to maybe have the understanding of the impact. But I would say for sure, because of social media, Drake and Kendrick, that shit broadcasted all over the world, not just the US. And so I'm saying it to say, like, if you were a real MC, like I consider myself a lyricist, somebody that really stood in the game, you couldn't help but be inspired by that. And so I feel like if you look at who dropped, it reflects that. So that's from hip hop. I think it was one of the best years. Now the debate we was having, offline was that and it came out, I think, a couple of weeks ago, whatever. Billboard said this is the first year where no hip hop is in the top 40.
Yeah.
And my personal opinion is that's a great thing, because hip hop was never meant for everybody. It was very like specific, inner city, black and brown. This is what we're talking about. For better or for worse, we're telling our story. We're trying to give a voice to the voiceless, eyes to the unseen, looks to the unseen. So like, that's how it started. So now, in my opinion, I think a lot of people say the same shit. How could it be that this is one of the best years of hip hop for music output and it not be on charts? All that does tell me is that it turned people off who wasn't really fans of the shit. And I like that. So that's what